we are, I believe, if I stand corrected, we are live on YouTube. So, welcome back. Podcast day number 2. Big day, right? This is the second time that we've been able to make it onto YouTube to do our podcast. So, joining me from Discord, as always, is Battle. Tonight we are without Ambush, and that's okay, but we've got a lot to discuss tonight. So today is the day after the NHL trade time, number 1. Tonight we will also cover the 4-0 blowout of the Pittsburgh Penguins by the Vegas Golden Knights. And then we will also talk about the Super Bowl. So we're going to start with the Super Bowl because I feel like a lot of you are probably wanting to see that and see us talk about it. So when you are talking about the Super Bowl, we got to be careful because a lot of people have a very strong opinion about the Super Bowl, I think. So,
yeah, for sure.
So, I guess let's talk about it. So, the Eagles win. As we discussed in day 1 of the podcast, I said that the Eagles were going to win. And ladies and gentlemen, guess what the Eagles went and did? They won. Finally.
They won.
Finally, the Eagles win. Chiefs magic, my ass.
For real. They probably didn't have enough blood sacrifice. Have you heard about that thing they did at Arrowhead where apparently they actually changed the fountains to red during the AFC Championship against the Bills? And then it got people on Twitter going crazy, like, oh my god, human sacrifice rituals taking place under Arrowhead. Perhaps that's why the Chiefs magic's going on. Yeah, whatever they were doing, that shit didn't work.
So what I will say is that is when you look at this, right? And this is what I found hilarious is the Chiefs defense was horrible. Just horrible in general. The Chiefs defense was just shitty in general. I mean, they're playing like a low safety to high safety kind of thing, and they are complete and utterly fucked half the time.
Oh yeah, I saw that like in their performance.
Yeah,
honestly, I mean, you could say that also, but also you gotta look at the Eagles' talent. So I mean, AJ Brown just smoked. I think that was McDuffie on some of the routes.
Yeah.
Like, the talent was there. Clearly, the Eagles, and by the way, I gotta say, with Howie Roseman, he did such a great job with just building this Eagles team to just dominate. Yeah. Like, dominate is an
dominating in a way of, like, fuck this. Like, fuck these guys. You know, and it seems to be, like, you know, the Chiefs came into this game and they were ready, right? Everybody's like, they're ready, and they're not.
Yeah. Do you think there was even just an arrogant sort of thing where it's like, yeah, we've been there, done that. We're gonna get this 3-peat easy because we're the Chiefs. We've been there, done that, and we beat the Eagles. And I believe that was 2022. I believe. Super Bowl.
Yeah, I believe so too. I believe it was like it had to have been that. So we're looking at this, right? And you know, I keep seeing this. Is I'm looking at one of the route combos for this, and all I'm seeing is, you know, they're running like a backside post and then a vert, and the Eagles defense, like Cooper DeJean, is all over that, all over it. And the Eagles defense got a couple of stops. There was a couple picks in this game, and it was one like I believe we were watching here in the Discord, and we were all like, "Holy shit!" Cooper DeJean picks it off. What the fuck? And I remember when we were watching it, like the DeJean pick. I walked out of the room and I come back, and all of a sudden somebody's screaming, "DeJean picked it off!" And I was like, "Shit," and it was kind of funny.
Yeah, it's like that one song that's been trending. Cooper DeJean is not a safety. He's just a corner who will lock down your number one. And he did just that.
Yeah.
That pick on Mahomes to take it back to the house.
Yeah.
We were all cheering that on.
Yeah.
Especially my friend who's a big Eagles fan. He was just going ballistic. He was just smiling ear to ear, dude. That was fucking
great. So, for those of you who are watching at home, go ahead in the chat, type your guys' thoughts. Because I want to see your guys' thoughts in the chat. And obviously the Super Bowl was obviously amazing. I didn't watch the halftime performance. I heard that a lot of people didn't like it, and honestly, I'm not a big fan of. I don't think I'm really a big fan of Kendrick Lamar, anyways. So I probably wouldn't have watched it.
Yeah, to admit, the meme content was great though on Insta, Facebook. The memes were just going wild, especially with the I'm Serena Williams. Yeah,
there was a lot of apparently hidden messages in it. No, I couldn't care any more than I already did.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about some of these trades from the NHL. Some of these trades, if you're NHL fans watching at home, are going to have your own opinions about. And I am fully prepared to discuss any opinion about it because I have my own. So we're gonna highlight a couple here. The Florida Panthers acquire forward Brad Marchand from the Boston Bruins for a conditional second-round pick in 2027. The captain of the Boston Bruins gets traded to the Florida Panthers for draft picks. I personally think that was a little bit weird. I mean, you're trading a star player for a conditional second-round pick, 2027. And while I see that conditional pick can be good for Boston, they just lost a lot of their, third or fourth line talent on whatever line Brad Marchand was on. And I think he actually started in a couple of games this year. So with that, it's a really weird trade in general. And I feel like it was very weird. Tomorrow, we're going to have another segment. Keep this in mind. Tonight, I will be watching another hockey game. So tomorrow, keep an eye out. I might be going live at random. So if you aren't, go ahead, subscribe, turn the notifications on for lives, because this podcast is a live podcast. And these are our own opinions because we don't care. The next one I want to talk about is the Dallas Stars and Carolina Hurricanes trade. Everybody knows that Mikko Rantanen was involved in the 3-team trade that happened at the beginning of the year that would give Carolina Taylor Hall and Mikko Rantanen and would send Jack Drury and Marty Necas to the Colorado Avalanche and absolutely rob the Hawks. We covered this back in February, I believe the day after it happened. And the Moose is on the move again. Mikko Rantanen goes to the Dallas Stars. Logan Stankoven, a conditional first-round pick in 26, a first-round conditional pick in 28, and a third-round pick in 26, along with, guess what, another third-round pick in 27 to Carolina. That is a lot of draft picks and one player. And the Hurricanes said they don't regret taking a chance on him, but it looked a little weird, like you just got him, and he's doing really good with you guys. And, he had a couple of really good goals for them, got him a couple wins, and he's off to Dallas. Now, along with that, he would then go on to sign an 8-year, $96 million contract with the Dallas Stars. Which is, in my opinion, crazy. You get traded, and then you're going to sign with them. And I'm now going to look at this, right? Pyotr Mrazek gets moved with Craig Smith for Joe Veleno. The one that I'm, I'm happy but also kind of really sad about is with my team. If you can't tell at home, Vegas fan, the Vegas Golden Knights acquire Riley Smith from the Rangers and give up Brendan Brisson and a third-round pick for this year. I don't like that trade at all. I thought Brendan Brisson was doing great in Henderson, and clearly there was some issues with that, but, whatever the Knights didn't see in Brendan, they traded to the Rangers with a third-round pick that we probably could have used this year. Now, yes, Riley Smith comes home to Vegas because, he's a Stanley Cup champion with Vegas, but at the same time, we lose good young talent in Brendan Brisson. So, there's a lot that were just weird. February 18th, Grigory Denisenko goes to the Predators, and Vegas gets future considerations in return. Now, I want to address something that the NHL said. I was watching the little thing on the NHL website, and it's like, the Golden Knights go on their Twitter account, and they say, hi. They just say hi. Now,
hi.
Yeah, right. Hi, how are you? The NHL thought, is Vegas going to make a big move like they did last year's trade deadline in getting Noah Hanifin? And, before the trade deadline, when they ended up with Anthony Mantha, and when they got Tomas Hertl on the day of the deadline, like 30 minutes before it. So, Vegas doesn't do anything else. The trade deadline is officially over. And the last thing to have happened with the night before, the night I go to bed, I wake up today, and I see that last night Reese Johnson goes to the Minnesota Wild, or no, the Leafs. He goes to the Leafs for future considerations. And then defenseman Brandon Carlo goes to the Leafs. Minteen goes to the Bruins for a conditional first round in 26, a fourth round in 25, and that's it. Your Boston was out here trading players that actually mattered. I'm not sure if, they're trying to do something like a whole team rebuild, but, we'll end up seeing what happens there. And personally, that it's really weird for me. So, tonight the Florida Panthers are playing right now. And as far as I see, I don't see anything for Brad Marchand. Panthers are up 3-0 on the Sabres. And so far, nothing. So we'll keep an eye on the Florida Panthers game versus the Sabres. And we're going to keep an eye on some of these other games that are just starting. The Spencer Knight trade just happened. That's a little weird. And Mikko Rantanen playing tonight for Dallas and Edmonton. But I want to bring it back to yesterday. Yesterday, the Vegas Golden Knights took on the Pittsburgh Penguins. Vegas at home. They have been a little bit at home recently. They've got a really nice homestand. Ilya Samsonov gets a shutout. Ilya Samsonov, who we acquired at the beginning of the season. So he ends up with the shutout. Pearson, Barbashev, Saad, and Stone get the goals. And overall, it looked pretty good. Vegas scored once in the first, once in the second, twice in the third to make it 4-0. Samsonov picks up the 22-save shutout, and it looks, I guess, pretty good. So, Ilya Samsonov gets that shutout, and that's really good for Vegas as they face Pittsburgh again on Tuesday. And we'll definitely see what happens in that game. And we'll continue to keep an eye on some of these games tonight. As I'm seeing, we have some games to definitely look forward. The Bruins and the Lightning are played earlier, and the Bruins shut out the Lightning. That's definitely a big shock, I think. The Bruins shooting out the Lightning. Battle, what do you think about that one?
That's honestly insane but even just as a casual, I'm just okay, 4-0. How do you not even score just 1 point?
Let alone against Jeremy Swayman. Let alone against Jeremy Swayman, who's been a little leaky. I've seen a lot of leaky things from Jeremy Swayman this year. And actually, it looks like this was a pretty highly penalized game, at least in the first period.
Let's get the game on.
Yeah, and apparently, from the Bruins side of the things, apparently they only had their AHL squad out there, which is wild.
I'm looking at that, and it's I don't recognize half of these guys. Kastelik, Kopech. Kopech had 2 for the 2 on the night. One thing that I found a little bit interesting is the moving of Nikita Zadorov to the Bruins. Which that just Zadorov gets the empty net, and then in the third period they get the empty net, and then Cole Kopech says, "Nah, I think we need one more." And a minute and 1 second apart. 101 apart between the Zadorov empty net and the Kopech goal against Swayman. Or the Kopech goal against, whoever was in net for the Lightning. I don't know who is in net for the Lightning. I can probably check, but let's see who is in net for the Lightning. In net for the Lightning is none other than Andrei Vasilevsky. That's surprising. Vasilevsky lets in 4 goals or, gives up 3 technically, and then, an empty netter. I mean, definitely a very leaky performance by him. And I believe at the deadline there was some talks of potential trade for him. And I think that was something that I was kind of hoping to see happen, was Vasilevsky gets traded. And he clearly wasn't. And I would have hoped that he was. I wanna turn attention to one of the other games that's currently happening right now. Florida is on the power play, 3-0 against the Sabres, with 6:36 remaining in the third period. So we will potentially see here, and I just saw this. The Canadians go to the power play for 2 minutes, and a contested game with the Calgary Flames. Contested with the Calgary Flames, Michael Backlund in the box for tripping against Cole Caulfield. So that's definitely going to be one I want to keep an eye on with the Calgary Flames. Just starting is the Blackhawks and the Predators and the Blues and the Kings. And starting here in the next couple hours is going to be the Stars and Oilers, the Islanders and Sharks. So far, scores from today: Bruins 4-0 against Lightning. The Rangers lost to the Senators in overtime. The OT winner goes to Brady Tkachuk, who we saw in Team Canada get into a fight seconds after his brother, which I thought was funny. If you saw, we'll talk about the USA-Canada game another time. I think that was just crazy. 3 fights within 9 seconds of each other. We couldn't even get the game started. Kraken and Flyers 4-1. I was definitely surprised to see that. Now, a former Vegas Golden Knight gets the shorthanded goal, Chandler Stevenson, which I also heard rumors that he could have potentially moved as well. But it seems like the Kraken have a tight leash on Stevenson. And it might have just been that the power play is expiring for the Panthers to Zach Benson. So we will keep an eye on these. He high-sticked McCullough. Keep in mind, the Buffalo Sabres, in the first game of the series, or the season series, Buffalo won 5-2 over Florida. Florida comes back, wins 5-2 on October 28th, and now Florida is beating them 3-0. So definitely some contested games tonight. And definitely some games to look forward to tomorrow, as we will see the Devils, the Flyers, the Krakens, the Caps, the Penguins, the Wild, and my favorite matchup to always watch, the Hurricanes and the Jets. On top of that, we'll see the Jackets, the Rangers, the Sharks, or the Stars and Canucks, the Islanders and Ducks. That one rhymed a little bit, hey? Like that one, Battle? A little bit of rhyme. The Stars and Canucks, the Islanders and the Ducks. And then, obviously, the game of the evening for me, because I have family that's in Vegas, we will see the Golden Knights take on the LA Kings. This game is going to be very interesting to see. So, I want to thank each and every single one of you who are watching at home for joining us tonight to talk sports and shit talk sports. If you want to keep seeing more of these, go ahead and leave a comment on this video. Leave your opinions. And we will see you guys on day 3. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. And I will see you guys next time.
Peace out, everybody. Sir.